unknown medical. Caller would not describe what was going on. Use caution. 10-2s are going with you. We've tried to ring back in.
Cute. She was young. Very outgoing personality.
He's hot. I find him good looking, yeah.
I know with her, it just always felt right. Like, it was always comfortable. There wasn't really anything there that I didn't not like. And it was just right from the beginning. It was just very easy to talk to her, easy to be around with her. Whenever we traveled or whatever we did, it just seemed natural, right? And I just never really had that with anybody else. So we sat on our balcony, we were having breakfast, and we were kind of just overlooking, like, Mykonos, which is the city we were in, and you could see, like, the Mediterranean Sea there. Like, okay, I think once we're done breakfast, this is probably going to be the best time to do it, right?
And he got down on one knee and brought the ring and proposed.
The rest is history, right?
Biscayne Crescent. 238 Biscayne Crescent.
I think I was in high school when I really decided that this is more along the lines of what I wanted to do. I had a lot of surgery when I was a small child, so I used to like wrap up my dolls and my teddy bears with toilet paper and pretend they were casts, and like always pretending that I was playing doctor with everything, with all my siblings. My mom used to say she couldn't keep a box of Band-Aids in the house because I would have them on everyone and everything. For me, it's always just been a fascination. It's always been something that I've been interested in. So I definitely think that's where it started or where it came from for sure.
Yeah, I've been a paramedic for 20 years, which has been a long time because when I initially started out in the career, I thought I would give myself maybe 5 years. But yeah, here I am 20 years later.
Paige and I have been working together for just over a year now. Yeah, a year and a bit. So it's nice to have someone to talk to. Like if something bothers you, she's always there for me. Like we'll talk about calls and kind of debrief after. So if something bothers me, like I have a great support system around me. Pediatric arrests are one of the worst things to deal with, I think. A lot of the paramedics have problems with it, especially when they have young ones at home.
Everyone who has kids says that you really feel like it's your own, or you see your own child. And I think you think a lot of your family in this job.
It is difficult, and it's hard knowing that that's what's coming, but it is part of the job, right? Like we help people out, and there's some people that it's just too late.
Probably going back maybe 7-8 years, we got a call for a hanging. A runner had come across this young girl that hung herself the night before. So the girl was only like 17 or 18. So you could see the sunlight coming through the trees. You could just see this image hanging there, and the whole time you're kind of walking through this forest, and you're hearing the ground crunch on the leaves. And you got there, and you're looking at her, right? Like, what could have been going on in her life to have this young girl, 17, hang herself? Calls like that kind of stick with you. I mean, you do. You sort of feel there's just like this really empty feeling.
You have limitations when you deal with a job that works 12-hour shifts, 24/7, 365. I mean, you have limits there. Somebody has to be working Christmas, and somebody has to be working at 3 a.m. So as much as they want to strive for good work-life balance in an industry like we're in, it's not always feasible.
You wouldn't be there for a lot of the time, so I think it'd be difficult not being there, watching your kid grow.
It's always challenging to think of somebody else after the end of 12 hours. Like, you're tired. So I think that's the main challenge, would be having the patience and whatnot after a long day, to have to put somebody else's needs first. But I think that comes with being a parent. Like, I think you just get used to that.
Now we've got a baby on the way, and I know for a fact my life's going to change dramatically come next year. It's more of a passion for Paige. Like, she's the one that really, really wanted this child. She's wanting a child since she was young. I mean, for her, it's kind of her dream. So I know she's going to be spending more time with the child. But that being said, I mean, I'm definitely not going to be an absent dad. It was a bad experience in growing up. It wasn't like very healthy. That if I could just remove myself sort of from that dynamic, then life might be a bit easier. But Paige has kind of proved that wrong. Like, our relationship and the way things are going now are very different from my own upbringing. I never had that communication with my parents, especially my dad. I mean, when I was living at home, like, we would spend like weeks in the same house, not even talking at all. Like, we'd pass each other, not even acknowledging one another. Like, it was just, there was definitely no communication whatsoever. That's a mistake I know for sure that I will never do with my child. Just knowing how drastically, you know, my world's going to change.
It's a lot more work than I remember. My memories of having little babies at home and taking care of babies was all just kind of like fun and somewhat difficult. But yeah, no, it's full time. It's exhausting. So it's been a really good reality check.
How many wheels are in the front?
I think it's going to be one. Yeah.
Maybe two.
No.